Yo, what's up? I'm Quharrison Terry, and welcome back to WTF with Quharrison Terry. It's a show where we explore the intersection of emerging technology and its impact on our daily lives. Today, we're going to just be diving into a brain dump. Let's ask myself, what's the future? What are the things I didn't cover or store in my notes that I wanted to take detailed notes on? I just didn't find the time to. For those that don't know, every day I ask myself, what's the future? And then I take notes and store them in a detailed journal. That journal is now available to anyone that wants to check it out at everydays.wtf. And I recommend doing it. We're going to leave links on all the things that we're seeing here today in that journal. And everything that I've covered in the past is also there. I use it. Like, this is how I stay sharp. So, as a future thinker to another future thinker, I recommend you check it out. So one of the first things that I thought was notable this week that I didn't really get a chance to cover and do a deep dive on was PayPal. So PayPal is getting into crypto again. They're already in crypto. They have the ability to now, buy crypto tokens and stuff on their platform. But what makes this different is this is their own stable coin. So you effectively have a PayPal token, which is pegged to the US dollar. So it's a stable coin in the sense that it's not going to fluctuate, which is good for PayPal because they can capture value. They can control the transactions in the sense that it's their token and they don't have to pay the same processing fees that they would if they were processing a Mastercard, Visa, American Express transaction. Like it's all on their it's their token. So it's all on their terms technically. Now it's still on the blockchain and this in theory should make it easier for you to do transactions and hold money in on a market. Now, the thing that I think is fascinating here is we live in an era where if you've got a stable coin, let's look at Coinbase and what they've been doing and any of the other exchanges, you can make money just by investing the stable coin profits into or even holdings. You can invest the holdings into T-bills like US Treasury bills and you can get the dividends on that. And that's all yours to keep as long as the people's money is there when they need it. Nobody's complaining. And PayPal's a publicly traded company. This is going to look really good on their balance sheet once they get this off the ground. And one of the cool things about PayPal getting into this is guess what? They've got one of the best brands in crypto, even though, I mean, PayPal, feel how you feel, it could be a little intense. It's still a much better brand than, a three-letter acronym that we all know and are wondering if we'll ever get our money from. So with that, I thought PayPal getting into crypto on this side with the stable coins is fascinating. I will watch this. Maybe we'll do an explainer on it in the future, but until then, the next topic that I was impressed by was Amazon. So Amazon's always in the news cycle. You could literally have a show just on what's going on at Amazon or what happened at Amazon this week. But Amazon becoming a big investor in ARM, which is a chip, a microchip manufacturer. And, in this era, that's a really big deal because there's a crazy, massive chip shortage and it's affecting everything from automobiles to refrigerators to computers to cell phones. And a lot more. But Amazon, they want to get in the hardware game. They already are in the hardware game. They obviously make a lot of devices. They run AWS. Them having deep access into this side of the industry could be very fascinating from a strategic move for them. I think they also have the ability to, quite frankly, benefit from a profit side. I think this IPO will probably do well. Look, there's not that many companies to invest in as it relates to microchips and processors, and Nvidia has been doing its thing. So I think that this will be one of the more highly hyped IPO of the year. And Amazon definitely wants to participate in that, just as every other investor probably would want to. That's in this sector. So this isn't financial advice, but I think it's a good go. Notable didn't make it to my WTF journal as its own entry, but it's here in my daily brain dump as you see. So the next thing is Meta. Did you forget that they were in the metaverse? Because they still exist. They sold a lot of people these headsets. I still have my Meta Quest Pro and I've got a Quest 2 and I'll probably have a Quest 3. So I support Meta. I think that they make, pretty interesting immersive reality devices. Now, they've got a new shooter game and it's been well received. I think that Super Rumble may not be the best game of all time. I think we all can say that, but it's in Horizon Worlds and it's showing us what an immersive reality can be. And I do think that if we were ever caught up in another pandemic like situation where we're all in the house, I don't think we're all going to be on Instagram anymore. I do think that, between this device and like an Apple Vision Pro and whatever else comes out in the next few years, I think we're all going to be putting it on our headsets and we're going to be figuring it out. And gaming is just the start. Gaming seems to be the natural fit for some of this stuff because a lot of the fundamental, how would you say, a lot of the fundamental actions and traits in gaming do match over quite well with the whole concept of a metaverse and the hardware associated with it. I don't think that will be true forever, but it is true as it stands. So if you've never played a Horizon Worlds game, you probably should. They are fun, and I think the fun thing about this one is just the ability that you're talking and meeting people that you never have met, and like you all are kind of collectively working together, but against each other. It's a fun thing. Check it out. Speaking of games, a company and a brand that we all know very well, Netflix is possibly going to get into the cloud gaming space. Now, I think this is fascinating because we're at a point where gaming is a very cheap form of entertainment. Like you buy a video game once and like you can be entertained for hours. And Netflix always says that they're competing with other platforms like YouTube and TikTok and they just want your attention and there's so many things going for your attention. They know that mobile games are one of those things that have a good grip and strong hold on a lot of people's attention. So they've been in the gaming space for a while now, but now it looks like they're going to go away from just mobile games to now being able to do something with the TV. The controller element here, with it being a touchscreen, that means everybody that has a phone and has a Netflix account can participate in this. So this could be fun. Now it's just about, what is that experience and how will they tie it to even some of their own content on the platform. We did see another attempt at cloud gaming fail. That was Google Stadia. I think that went under last year, and that was the whole concept where it was sort of similar, except for you had to buy a controller, but it worked with your Chromecast, and you could play like industry leading games, like AAA games and all that. And it was cool, but it was very nerdy. I think if Netflix can get away from the nerdy side of things and make it entertaining, it'll be a good go. I'm a big fan of WeWork. This whole story this week has been all over. I mean, it went from them announcing a possible bankruptcy to it becoming a meme stock to now like God only knows what's going to happen next week. I'm a big fan of WeWork. I think that WeWork is one of the few companies that doesn't make sense from like a like society standpoint. Everybody loves to hate on this company, but like if you're a digital nomad and you travel a lot, I mean, heck, for $300 you can get an all access unlimited pass and you can visit any WeWork in the world and go work there. Now, I mean, I guess if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is too good to be true. And all things like that unfortunately do come to an end. I hope that there's a savior out there for WeWork. Didn't make it to my WTF journal because I just I don't actually know what the future is here. I think it's just more so I'm biased because I use it. With that being said, there's a couple companies that I've been following, and I haven't really figured out where I stand on these things. So prediction markets, something I have to do a bit more research on. Definitely want to put a note on this, and I would love to even start some of these shows just based off of current bets that are out there, and where people saying will Elon Musk actually fight Mark Zuckerberg? Will we actually see ChatGPT 4.5 by October? These are questions that like me and my nerd friends have all the time, but we just never get a chance to really say who has the best track record. And so there's a site called Manifold that I've been messing around on, and then Poly Market, which is banned here in the US. So I can't actually use this, but it's still cool to see that people are taking bets on their beliefs. And I'll leave a link to both of these sites in my notes. With that being said, Helium Mobile is another thing that really caught my eye this past week. And what they allow you to do is you can set up your own network. So you think about how you set up a Wi-Fi hotspot at home. And once you set up your network, it's decentralized. So your node connects to someone else's node, which connects to someone else's node, but because they're all connected to each other, it's one big mesh network. And now everyone gets the benefit of this great grandiose mesh network. So if you can think about it, it's like my node plus your node plus Mike's node plus Ryan's node equals one large network that we all can explore. Now, that's just the first premise. The part that they just introduced is Helium Mobile, which you pay $25 a month and you can use your phone, like all the data and call and text and features and all that good stuff. But it's hosted on this network that's distributed. So here's also the best part on that: they're going to pay the people that own the actual like nodes or the network operators. So let's say you put up your version of a Wi-Fi router on the Helium network. If someone uses it or all the people that use it, you're going to get a percentage of that transaction that they have, and the costs are attributed to you. It's a cool concept. I haven't done enough research on it to like really make a stance or say what I feel. I think we're probably pretty far from something like this, just because like it's not, unless like Helium has like a kit. And again, I haven't done a lot of research on this, but if they have like a kit where it's just like plug and play, like you literally just plug something in, scan a QR code, and like you get up and going, and that's all you have to do to start a network. I think people would get into it. I think you go after businesses and people that are kind of hip. They want to like make passive income. This is an interesting like tool to do that. It reminds me a bit of mining with the crypto nodes for Bitcoin back in the day a bit. But this is like finding out like what the next thing is when it comes to mining. And like the people that get in on this will be the same people in 5 years. To be like, I've been running a Helium node network for 10 years and it's been great. And I've made X amount of money and I reinvested that profit into some PayPal stable coin and doubled my money. Like that's probably what's going to happen in like 5, 10 years. So I'd check it out. I'll leave a link to this also in my notes. The next thing is also smartphone, which I know I've got a lot of things happened in the smart world of smartphones. I mean, Samsung dropped their phone yesterday, and now we've got this Earn phone, and this is by Mode Mobile. Basically, the premise here is you buy this phone. It's like relatively cheap, like it's like less than $100. You buy it, and if you stream music and then you hear an ad, a part of that ad is going to go get paid right to you. So they're going to pay you to use your smartphone as you normally would, and they're monetizing all the interactions that advertisers already buy. So video games, when you see the ads when you're gaming, you see the ads when you're watching YouTube videos, when you see the ads when you're browsing the internet, like they have the OS, and they've created a way for you to get monetized for all the time you spend on your phone. I think there's a stat that says the average person spends between like 3 and 4 hours a day on their phone. So seeing something like this come to life and be iterative, I think there's a promise, and I mean it's super exciting. With that being said, I'm going to leave my notes and just brief thoughts on all of these things on everydays.wtf. That's my WTF journal. If you want to learn more about it, guess what? I might cover one of these things that we just talked about in the near future on everydays.wtf. The only way you'll find that out, though, is by checking it out. So go ahead, tap into my notes. And if you want to become a future thinker like myself, the first part is starting with, some information about the future. This is an easy way to get into it. With that being said, I will catch you in the future. And thanks for rocking with me today.